What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to part number 3 of our live RU Pokemon Showdown session. Last time, we had a really fast episode, only about 12 minutes. We blew through like 3 battles. I'm not sure exactly if those people that we battled knew exactly what they were doing competitively, but that's just how it goes sometimes. So hopefully we find some more competitive stuff going on this time around. Of course, that's the risk that you take by not laddering up beforehand, so there's always that thing that you have to balance. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the session so far. If you would like to show your support, feel free to do so by clicking that like button or leaving your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions for future sessions or Pokemon you'd like to see one of these sessions, feel free to put that down there. It's all good, you know what I'm saying. At least I hope somebody does. Alright, so here we go. Very standardish looking RU team. Cool though, because I don't see a lot of stall in here, which is great. And we get to see a Mega Pidgeot in action. In fact, we may see that leading off here, I don't know. That or Rotom, I would guess, for some Volt Switch momentum, since they're usually scarfed. I'm going to lead off with Typhlosion because Main/Roman has been my go-to lead so far. And I think I might just keep it that way because a lot of people don't expect me to lead off with him, and you just start firing off some eruptions, and a lot of times your opponent is not prepared. And looking at this team, he has no resist to fire-type moves, so he really has nothing to take eruptions. And actually, the most specially defensive thing on this team looks to be Electros if it is Assault Vest. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to take the hit too well. Rotom just goes down in one hit, and so does the Doublade. Pidgeot might even go down in one hit. It would be close. Gonna hit the timer because he's taking a while to even get this started. Hopefully, I don't have to cut part of this out. I guess we're going to find out here. Now, looking at this team, trying to think what kind of weaknesses it has. I don't know. It looks like a pretty sound team to me. A little bit of an ice weakness, but I don't really have any ice type moves. So there we go. Boom! Wow, Eruption does 96% to this Pidgeot as it Mega Evolves. And all he does in return is U-turn out. Wow, okay. So his Mega is essentially neutered here. The unfortunate thing is the only priority that I have really is Sucker Punch. I have Nature Power too on Whimsicott. Other than that, this Pidgeot outspeeds everything on my team. So that could be an issue if we don't have main in. So Hitmonlee's gonna come out. I don't know that Eruption will be a one-shot on this thing, and I don't want to take all kinds of damage. So I think we want to switch out here. The question is, what do we want to switch out into? We could go into Cotton Eye Joe, because we do resist the Fighting Stab. But I don't know if that's a smart play, because Hitmonlee can also have Poison Jab. We don't like that so much, so I'll go into Quigla to take the Mach Punch. And he shows that he's Life Orb. Okay. That really didn't do that much, even with it being Life Orb. We can probably just... I guess we can Earthquake here. He's got so many immunities to Earthquake, though. Rotom, Electros, Gligar, and Pidgeot are all immune to Earthquake. So he's going to knock off our lefties there, which kind of stinks. We do get a Scald off, does about 27%. Brings him down to 54%. And he's going to switch here, so I'm going to recover. As he goes into Electros, which usually carries the Giga Drain. So we have some options here. We can switch into Cotton Eye Joe to take that, or we can switch in Stripes to take that, because those are going to be my resists. Actually, Peter and Main both resist it too, but I don't want to switch Typhlosion in to take damage if I don't have to. I just don't want to do that, because I want Eruption to be as powerful as possible. Peter, meanwhile, I could take it fairly nicely, but I don't have anything I can do back, and then I can get hit with an electric type move, and that would just not be a good time. So I need to decide here. I don't want to leave Quigula out, that is for sure. I guess I'll go into Cotton Eye Joe. And we'll see what he does. Oh, he goes for the knockoff instead of the Giga Drain, expecting a switch, and he's going to get rid of our Choice Specs, so our attacks are not going to be doing nearly as much, but we also don't have to be as conservative, because if he makes a switch, we can change things up a little bit. Unfortunately, Giga Drain only does 21%, and Flamethrower is a one-shot. Wow, I was not expecting that. Yikes. That did so much damage. For some reason, I was not expecting that. It's a powerful Electros. Alright, well, we're kind of in a little bit of trouble here. We did not see lefties on this thing, so it probably is the Assault Vest variant. We've seen Giga Drain, Knockoff, Flamethrower. Oh wait, we haven't seen Giga Drain yet, but he probably has it. And then Volt Switch, I would guess, would be his other move. Okay, what do I have that can handle this thing? I guess Rex could, potentially, but he could very easily just switch out. And Rex is not going to be taking on Doublade or Gligar too well, so I'm going to go into Stripes here, because we can take some special hits. And we can fire off a Poison Jab, which does 40%. That is a 2-hit KO, as he does go over the Volt Switch. Brings us down to 67%. And we'll see what he wants to go into here. Possibly Rotom, if it is Scarfed. Maybe. No, he's going to go into Gligar. And I think I want to taunt you immediately. I don't want you setting up Stealth Rocks. I don't want you being able to Roost. And he was going to go for the Stealth Rocks there, so taunting that was a good idea. And it also keeps him from roosting, too. Not that he would from 100% of his max health, you know, but having him unable to roost at all, at least for now, is always a good thing. Now, I think I'm going to go into Peter, because I should be able to take an EQ if he goes for it, or a U-turn, which is what he opts for here. Does about 8%, and we're going to be able to get a Mega off for free, I would think. Unless he goes into Electros, I guess. So we might want to keep Peter around too, in case that Doublade sets up some Swords Dances. Because we're immune to Shadow Sneak, and we have no guard for Heat Wave, and, you know, hits Doublade on its weaker, especially defensive side. So we may need to hold on to that for later on. And this Rotom is almost definitely Scarfed if he's going to bring it out here, because he has to know that I would have Heat Wave. And even if I didn't, Hurricane would do a butt ton of damage. So, do I want to risk staying in? I don't think it makes a lot of sense to. We could be pulling a big risk to go into Quagsire too, though, just because if he goes for Leaf Storm, predicts that, Quagsire is dead. But I'm going to do it anyway. I think he's going to go for Volt Switch. And he does go for the Volt Switch, so Quagsire gets in safely, and he's locked into a move he can't use. So now we are free to go for a Scald, because he's probably going to switch in, I guess, the Electros again? That would make sense. I don't know what else you'd want to switch in here. Pidgeot will die because it only has 4%, so I don't know if you want to sacrifice it. No, he's going to go into the Electros. It only takes 14%, but we do get the burn, so he's going to go down next turn regardless of what he does, unless he goes for Giga Drain. But he's so slow. Quagsire might actually outspeed him. It's actually possible, because the Electros never runs speed investment. Or I could just let him kill Quagsire, I guess. I don't know if I want to do that. No, I think I want to predict a Giga Drain here, and we can go into Stripes. He didn't go for Giga Drain last time, but I think that's what he's going to do. And he does go for the Giga Drain. Only does about 12.5%, and that does get him outside of the burn range, so he survives with 6%. But we should outspeed this regardless, so we can just go for a Poison Jab here. And he is going to leave it in to go down, so Electros is out of the way. Which honestly was a huge thorn in my side, because now I really don't have anything stopping me from bringing in Pidgeot and just unleashing some fury on things. Hitmonlee is going to come in here. And Hitmonlee has crap for physical defense, so if he takes a little bit more damage via his Life Orb, I'm pretty sure that a Sucker Punch will kill. Because Stripes here, he's a little bit stronger than you would think. I've seen him take out some things that is a little bit unexpected. I'm going to go into Quigula. He goes for High Jump Kick. That does a butt ton of damage. That is ridiculous to a physically defensive Quagsire. Brings us all the way down to 36%. I'll go for the Recover, but he's going to go for High Jump Kick again, and he connects a second time in a row. But that brings him down to 34%. And the question is that enough? Or are we going to have to go into Peter and have to take that, the Mach Punch that would be coming our way? I don't know if I want to do that. Pretty sure Stripes can just take him out with a Sucker Punch from there, though. I mean, I guess we could go into main too. But again, you're going to have to take unnecessary Mach Punch damage. And going in with Stripes to Sucker Punch would be the only way to avoid taking any damage whatsoever. So that is obviously the most appealing to me. And I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go straight for that Sucker Punch. And he does stay in, and it does 34%. Down goes the Hitmonlee. I like that. Taking out a Hitmonlee with a not very effective move. Good stuff. Rotom Moe's going to come out here, and you're not going to one-shot me. Now, most Scarfed Rotoms don't carry Will-O-Wisp. I love to carry it, but I don't see it very often. So if anything, maybe a Trick would be coming here? Or are you just going to go for Volt Switch again? That would be really the only move you could go for, because if you stay in, Poison Jab will kill you. And you're not one-shotting us here. So, I'm just going to go for Poison Jab. He does go for the Volt Switch, does about 34%. So, that's not too bad. With the Black Sludge, it's, you know, in the 20s as far as net damage there. He's going to go into Gligar, which will take this just fine. We get a crit. Still doesn't do much, but we get the Poison. A crit Poison. That is really unfortunate, not going to lie. Not going to lie at all. That is quite unfortunate. I think I would like to taunt here, just to prevent him from setting up Stealth Rocks. I know I did that last time, but I really don't want him setting up rocks. And I don't want him roosting either. So if he's going to EQ and kill me, so be it. I can come in and finish him off. But the worst possible thing with Typhlosion and Pidgeot is to have those rocks up. So yeah, Stripes is going to go down to the EQ as we taunted the Gligar, which means he can only U-turn or EQ. I'm assuming those are the only moves that he has that are attack moves. He's shown off the Stealth Rocks already when we taunted him last, and his other move has to be Roost. I've never seen a Gligar that doesn't carry Roost. So we could take this opportunity to try to set up with Rex, I guess, but Doublade is still a problem. We'd have to set up multiple Dragon Dances to have a shot at killing with an Earthquake. So we can use this opportunity to get a Mega Evolution off so that at least we can speed tie with the opposing Pidgeot that is still alive if it comes down to that. We'll go for the Hurricane, and that's not quite going to take out this Gligar, but he's confused, and he hits himself in confusion. Are you kidding me? The Hacks. The Hacks is coming through for us right now. It's really unfortunate for my opponent. I hate to see that just because I've really been screwed over by Hacks a lot on this channel. If you've been around for any length of time, you know that. So I feel the pain when my opponent suffers from it. But we have Roman on our team. Even if he's not named Roman, he still comes through with the Haxorus. So the Gligar goes down to some ridiculous nonsense. Although I think he was just going to U-turn out. I don't know what else he could have done. Roosting would not have helped him there. But he's going to come out with this Rotom, which is most likely Scarfed. And I'm going to have to switch in Rex because I don't have anything else that can take it. And he's going to go into Doublade. Yep, there's the Doublade. So now he's probably going to set up a Swords Dance. So I'm just going to have to EQ a couple of times and hope that we can at least do 50%. Because I think Heat Wave will do about that. Oh, wow, 34% to a Doublade. That has to be offensive. And he does set up a Swords Dance. So this is fine by me. Shadow Sneak will not kill me from there. So he's probably going to go for Gyro Ball or Iron Head or whatever his steel offensive move is here. So we can just stay in and go for another Earthquake. And Heat Wave will definitely take him out from there. So that'll be Doublade gone. He does go for the Iron Head. That does take Rex out, but he did what he needed to do. And all I needed from him was to just dish out as much damage as possible to Doublade. Now he can go for Heat Wave, which cannot miss. And down it goes. He could have, I don't know. He couldn't have really done anything. His only priority move would be Shadow Sneak, and that is not going to hit Pidgeot. So in comes the Rotom now, and I have to let Pidgeot go down here. There's the T-Bolt. And because Main is naturally faster than Rotom, our Scarf is going to outspeed his Scarf. And Eruption's going to take out that Rotom. Down it goes, and his Pidgeot only has 4%, so that is going to be the match. Unless he gets a critical hit Quick Attack from a Pidgeot, which I don't know why you'd even be running Quick Attack. But he's just going to forfeit. That is going to be it for the match. So that was a lot more fun than the last episode, honestly. I came down to the wire, and Maine coming through for us there, picking up those last 2 KOs. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little part episode thingamajiggy. We have 2 left in this series before we move on into a different tier. So hope you're having fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure you're leaving a like rating or comment or whatever you would like to do. And I will see you all next time. And until then, game on.